Hello everybody, Rebus here, welcoming you to a how to play Mythgard. So Mythgard is a new online card game similar to Hearthstone meets Magic. And pretty much it's a little bit complicated to play. So first of all, you have your different factions that make up the game. So for starters, we've got like the blue group. And the blue group is mostly comprised of Valkyries and as well as, where are the rest of them? The wolves. This is kind of what they like fall into. There are some like outlier examples, like the trolls are in here as well. But a lot of it tends to be Valkyrie or Canine. The next group you have is the yellow group. This is kind of the military group of the game. So you have a lot of the stuff like the commandos, you have stuff like the Magpie squad leaders, you have like more of the technological stuff. And it's kind of got like more of a technological flair. Once again, there is always like the case where there's like some added in other creature types as well. But that kind of rounds out the yellow. So for your red group, that's kind of your fire, elemental, vampires. You kind of fall into that like arena. And then for the green, this is mostly like you have some of the military still in, but it's kind of more like Fae-esque, I guess, if that makes sense. It still has a lot of the military though. And then you got orange. This is kind of the arid ones. These are still military, but they're zealots. You also have rebels. You kind of have a couple of other like random like desert-like creatures like Chimera, Angels, but it's mostly the Zealots are like the big thing in this. And then purple is kind of like the ninja group, which I love because the purple is also the group that doesn't have a lot of the art completely finished as well. So you have like some of the placeholder art in here, which is pretty hilarious. So now that we've got that, how do you actually play the game? Well, first of all, the very first thing you're going to want to know is how everything interacts, like what the different like things on the cards actually mean. So first of all, let's go ahead, let's open up everything. Now, the first thing you'll see is you have like cards called enchantments. The game is comprised of 7 different lanes on your side of the board. And enchantments are kind of similar to enchantments in Magic the Gathering, except enchantments only affect one lane usually. So like for this one, if you put a minion on a lane that you've enchanted, it'll get +1/+1. Very simple. So there's enchantments, those affect the lanes. Then the second thing you have is like a bunch of keywords. Now there is a ton of keywords in this game. And learning the keywords is actually one of the biggest things that you're going to need to know. So for instance, fragile, and if it says fragile 1, the 1 is how many it's taking, but that can go up to like 3, 4, anything. So any damage it takes, any minions, like for instance on this one, any minions in the opposing 3 lanes from this enchantment have fragile 1. They take 1 extra damage. Swift is about moving your creatures around. Lurker is kind of like, it's like borderline stealth, except like if you have 2 lurkers, you can still attack the lurkers. It's just if there's other creatures, they're kind of like behind that creature. So you have to actually like take out other creatures before lurkers. Defenders is kind of the opposite. Basically, enemies must attack a defender, so it's kind of something with taunt. Alpha Strike is similar to First Strike in Magic the Gathering. Basically, the damage from this creature is dealt first before the other creature gets to deal damage. Regen is just healing at the end of turn. Teleport is just moving to any lane, which is kind of similar to Swift, except it can move directly over. Suppressed, you just nullify all the buffs. Awaken is the biggest one that you'll see. This is similar to battle cries, for instance, in Hearthstone. Piercing, it just ignores armor. Armor is something that certain cards can have. Overrun is trample from Magic the Gathering. Basically just keeps the damage going through. Blast is kind of similar to I'm trying to think in Hearthstone, there's like cards that let you attack adjacent minions. Let's see what else is there. Armor is kind of your armor. Basically, it's extra damage you have to go through that isn't added onto the life total. Stunned is just basically like you're putting them to sleep. They can't do anything that turn. Blight is really freaking annoying. It just basically keeps giving you a -1, -1. And Demise is your death rattles. That's basically what Demise is. Agile is you can attack any lane. That'll become more apparent once we get into the actual how you play, like actually seeing the board. And Life Tap is similar to, I can't think what it's called. It's basically like life damage. When you attack, you get that health back. And then Divination is pretty much looking at cards. So that covers most of the... Oh, Breach is the other one. Basically, it's like you have to hit the opponent's face, not the minions, to have this happen. And usually it's a lot of like buffing. It just keeps buffing them. Slayer, kind of similar. It does extra damage based on like if you're attacking minions. So I know there's a lot of keywords, and like a lot of people are initially like, oh my god, there's just so many freaking keywords. I don't know what half these are. The nice thing is you can open up any of these and look. Like, see, like right now, like stealth. Okay, stealth identify is hidden, like identity is hidden from opponents like regular minions until it's dealt damage. So basically it's stealth from Hearthstone. Inferior is like it disappears from your deck. So there's a lot of like mechanics in it, but you can at least like kind of go ahead and like not have to be too worried about it, because you can actually look up them and see what's going on with the game at any time. So then we have basically like there's different modes. Some of them are locked until you hit a certain level. Like Arena's level 6, I believe Puzzle's level 2. There's like Brawl, which is like doing the drafting. No, that's doing the constructed. Gauntlet, which is doing like the drafting. There's a story mode, which it's typical card game story modes. It's not really, it's cool, but it's not like award winning, unfortunately. There is 2 versus 2 PvP, casual, ranked. You kind of got like everything, your basics that you're going for. So let's go ahead. We're going to jump into a brawl real quick. So we're going to select a random enemy AI, and then I'll go ahead and I'll show you. You kind of get this kind of cool little intro, which I like. I love the dog. That's my favorite. All right. So I didn't actually look to see what deck I was picking, but that's all right. So first thing you're going to notice, right here is how much mana it costs. So this one costs 1. But the thing next to it is you have this symbol right here, which is this little purple icon. Now, you're kind of wondering, how do you gain mana? Well, mana, basically, you don't gain it at the beginning of a turn. That's the weird thing about this. You do not gain any mana. You could have no mana. Like, if I keep ending turn, I won't have any mana. I'll have a bunch of cards, but no mana. So, the easiest way is you look at a card, like maybe I don't want this card. Or maybe I don't want this card, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to drag it into my, this bar down here, the mana bar. And it burns the card. Now, burning the card basically reshuffles it into your deck. And once you do that, you end up with a mana. You can do this once a turn. Now, I have 1 purple, so no matter what, I will not be able to play that. I don't have the gems I need to play it. But these have purple. I could play either one of these. I can't play this because it has 2, and I'd have to have 2 purple at least. Now here's the other thing. There's a lot going on, like I said. At the beginning of the turn when you're building out your deck, there is 2 things. There is your basic power, like path, which path in the game you're taking. So for instance, the first one we'll start out with is Journey of Souls. At the beginning of the game, you start with 3 extra life. That's why I have 23, they have 20. And you gather souls whenever one of your minions dies. And if you have 3, you can return the bottom one. It is inferior, and you lose the 3 souls. Basically, inferior means that like you're taking it from the graveyard, but once it dies, it is removed from the game. So it's kind of a way to get back some of your old cards. His is... I don't know what his path is. Actually, I don't know if the AI sometimes has paths. We'll see. Oh, this is actually where I could see what's in my deck. Well, I'm not worried about that right now. The other thing you have is your power. So for instance, you unlock these as you level up, as you gain experience, that kind of stuff in the game. So the first one you start with is Smite. Once per turn, you can deal 2 damage to your opponent if they have more life than you or 1 otherwise. Basically, right now these 2 synergize horribly. Journey of Souls and like my power kind of suck because I want to have a little bit less to like whittle them down faster. It does cost 2 mana, so it's kind of like the hero power in Hearthstone. It does not target anything in the lanes. It only hits the opponent's face. So let's go ahead. Let's throw out one of our boys. On death, deal 2 damage to him in the opposite lane. So there's 7 lanes, like I said. If you put one here, they can attack these 3 lanes if they put... So we'll go ahead. We'll just throw one in the center.
You looking for trouble?
And we got him. Now, if he puts down anything here, here, or here, see like how you can see the red glowing around like the other lanes on the opponents? If he puts a monster here, I have to go there to like fight. I can't just go straight to him. That's kind of how blockers are assigned. So let's see if he's actually going to do anything. Alright, burned 1 card. And you can see up here what they've done. Alright, so this is a wall. Basically, it's a defender. It can attack. It's immobile. It can't move. And you can use, it has an ability that you can drag it down. It saps 3 of your, it saps the, oh, this one saps current health, sorry. It saps health, and you basically draw a card. Now, see, this is active. I can't attack here. I can only hit this because it's in one of the 3 lanes. I could spend my action to move over to ignore this if I really wanted to. So I think what we're going to do first of all is I don't need this right now. I can throw this here.
Looking good.
And I get a Biting Blade. Beautiful art, temporary artwork. I could attack this if I wanted to. It's kind of one of those things. For 3 health, they get to like sap their... So, you know what? I am going to... Honestly, I should probably put this so we could take this out. But we'll just do that. And that's pretty much it for our turn. Gained its health back up to 3. So they have a blue and a yellow ready to go.
Need a wrench?
Yep, this is going to kind of be one of those where this thing's not going to die. Deal 2 damage to anyone. I will... Let's get rid of... I want a green one. I'll go ahead, I'll burn that for now. We'll put this here. We'll go face. I'm just gonna keep weakening this thing. It's not really worth doing anything else. He has stealth. Basically, right now they can't deal anything with him. But I'm sure they're gonna put some sort of defender in one of these 3 spots.
You'll survive.
In return, restore 1 health to all of your minions. Okay. Kind of a weak, seems like a weak deck. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that one, but you know what? Whatever. Let's see. We could burn one of those. We can do this. Oh man. See, the problem is like we're at that point. I don't see a point to trying to defeat. Like, it's just not worth it. So we'll go ahead. We'll put that on there. I do want to take this wall out, so... And we'll go ahead and use his ability to deal 2 damage. And we'll get rid of that wall. Was it necessary? Probably not. But I don't like dealing with walls, and these are already going to do a little bit of an annoyance to me. Okay, so armor piercing slayer. I have to do 4 damage. I do not have 4 damage, unfortunately. So I might end up using him to try and weaken that. Deal 2 damage to the... Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do this. And that should have taken the armor. Actually, I'm not really too sure. That did not. Okay. See, that's good to know. That's something we needed to know. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to throw Axeman here.
Hey, pay up.
I'll throw this here.
You looking for trouble?
And we'll just go face with these 2. We're in a pretty good position right now. This has to either attack... This would have to go with this first, unless this hits here first. Yep. So the demise effect happened. It took 2 life. This probably will not happen. What is this? Fully heals whenever an enemy minion dies. Alright, so we got some stuff going on. To be honest, I'll probably just go here, and finish this off. So, here's how we're... Like I said, this is going to be an easy win. Those are destroyed. You could... See, I can attack either one of these because they're both in the lanes that I'm in. So I could go like that. Finish that off. Now, obviously, the game ends when the life points get down to 0. There's a couple ways I could win. I could use my power, go straight into that. Or I could just use this. And that works too. The one big thing that you will see in this game that is kind of hard to, that is different, is in Hearthstone, when all your buffs are removed, you usually can't kill an enemy. Like, you can't kill a monster if its buffs are removed, it'll stay at 1 health. In this, if buffs are removed and they would go under under 0 or to 0, the enemy it dies. So if I had 4 buffs on this and the buffs are removed, this is gone. Let's go ahead, let's win that. And it's kind of nice because there's a couple extra seconds where you can BM. Like, you can kind of like keep going into enemies. It's really funny. And after every round you get some coins. Sometimes you unlock cards. Get a little bit of experience. And that's pretty much it. Now, the game will be coming out on early as a, like, open beta. And pretty much so far, it's been pretty generous. I believe I've gotten like 5 or 6 like card packs. Plus like all the ones you already have and the stuff you just unlock in the game. So it's a lot of fun. It's worthwhile. Like, see, I already have like a decent amount of cards. But if you want to check it out, definitely give it a look. See what it's like. See what, if you do enjoy it. It's kind of a nice mix between the Magic the Gathering and the Hearthstone gameplay. But this is Rebus saying, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. And until next time, guys, this is oh my god, this is Rebus saying, I'll catch you next time. We're repeating everything.